everyone, I'm the Greedy Reader. Welcome to Greedy About Books. So in this episode again we have two sections. The first one is the blast from the past and the second one is our main topic for today, which is going to be about the Booker Prize. So let's go to blast from the past. And I'm so sorry, this is such a cliched term, blast from the past, but then I just couldn't come up with anything else for the book from the past that I wanted to bring to you. And that book today is Love Story, written by Eric Segal. And this was written in 1970. When Eric Segal wrote this, he had actually meant it as a story for a movie, and it was also accepted by Paramount Pictures. He was a professor and a scriptwriter, okay? So his literary agent told him to think of writing it as a novel, which could be a preview for the movie. And he thought it was a good idea, and he wrote Love Story, which is a very small novel. It is like 131 pages, and it went on to become a phenomenal bestseller. Love Story is as the name suggests, it is a love story of Oliver and Jennifer, and they meet as students on campus. And these two people are as diametrically opposite as you can think of, but they are drawn to each other. And the story proceeds as dialogues between these two, and they're so witty and so engaging. I think it's because Eric Segal was a scriptwriter that he has a lot of dialogues in the book, and it's mostly dialogues actually. The movie again went on to become a great hit. It was a very different kind of love story at the time it was written, which was in 1970. So I'll just tell you the first lines of the book, and then you'll understand why it was different during that time. It goes like this, quote, "What can you say about a 25-year-old girl who died? That she was beautiful and brilliant, that she loved Mozart and Bach and the Beatles and me," unquote. So this is how the story starts. So you know that Jennifer is going to die. You know that it's not going to be a very happy ending, but still you're rooting for them to get together, and still you want Jennifer to survive. It's crazy, but you really keep thinking about that while you're reading the book. So if you're interested in this kind of a love story, go and read Love Story by Eric Segal, but just keep it in mind that this was written in a completely different era, 1970. So that was the blast from the past, and now let's move on to the main topic of today, which is the Booker Prize. So the Booker Prize was announced just a couple of days back. So I have been very confused about the Booker Prize, okay? Because each time I hear about it, it'll be in some other name. Sometimes it is the Man Booker Prize, and then it is the International Booker Prize. Then there is the Booker Prize. So what exactly is this entity called the Booker Prize? So I read up about it, and it is actually very simple. So I thought maybe I would, share my information, share the information that I got to those of you who would like to know more about it. So the Booker Prize is a British prize awarded to English novels which have been published in the UK or the Ireland. And earlier it was open only to citizens of Britain, Ireland, Commonwealth countries or Zimbabwe. And now it's open to everybody. Anyone from across the world can submit their work for the Booker, but it has to be in English and it has to be published in the UK or the Ireland. The prize money for the Booker is £50,000, and this time the Booker was won by Shahan Karunatilake, who is a Sri Lankan author. Now there's one more prize called the International Booker Prize, and the International Booker Prize is given to translations, English translations of novels written in any language, but again it has to have been published in the UK or Ireland. The English translation has to have been published in the UK or Ireland. And this year for the Booker Prize there were 170 entries, and there is a panel of judges, and they start reading these books. They read every single book. So they started reading I think around December last time, and they complete these 170 books. Then they cut it short to 30 books. Then they read the 30 books again, and then they make a short list of 6 books, and these 6 books are read again for the 3rd time. Then the judges come to a decision. For the International Booker Prize, actually, the translator and the author share the prize money. So they get £25,000 each. And last year, it was an Indian author, Gitanjali Shree, who won the International Booker for her novel Tombs of Sand, which was translated by Daisy Rockwell. Coming back to the Bookers, this year it was, like I said, it was won by Shehan Karunatilake. But I'll just tell you who the other 6 shortlisted authors were. So the 6 shortlisted novels for the Booker are The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida by Shehan Karunatilake, Treacle Walker by Alan Garner, The Trees by Percival Everett, Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, O. William by Elizabeth Strout. I read this and I loved it. Glory by Noviolet Bulawayo. So these were the 6 finalists of the Booker, and it was won by Shehan Karunatilake, who, like I said, is a Sri Lankan author, for his book The 9 Moons of Mali Almeida. And it is a very quirky kind of novel. It's part comedy, part satire, part fantasy, and it talks about the afterlife of a photographer who is murdered, and he comes back to find out who is responsible for his death. And this is set in the 90s in Sri Lanka, when Sri Lanka was torn apart by civil war. So in his speech, the author Shehan Karunatilake has said that in the future, in the distant future, he would like his book to appear in the fantasy section of bookstores, which would mean that this kind of a setting in Sri Lanka would be long forgotten. And there would be peace all around. There would be people who are living happily in Sri Lanka without the strife that is happening there. So that is Shehan Karunatilake's The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida, which won the Booker Prize this year. So if you're interested in reading any of the Booker novels, do go check it out. I'm sure you'll find something that you like. So that was it for Greedy About Books for today. I hope you guys are reading. I hope you guys are exploring new genres. And I hope this video is making some difference in your thinking, at least. Even though you might not be picking up a book, I hope you at least are thinking about picking up a book. And I'm very proud of myself today because I made a very short video, because I usually ramble on and on and on, and the videos become so long. And I think I'm rambling again today, so I'll just say goodbye. You guys have a great weekend. Read, please read anything that you can lay your hands on, and we'll meet next week, next episode of Greedy About Books. So